Hello everyone. I hope we shall start the webinar. So today's topic will be design data management in Altium Designer. I am Rajeshwari, application engineer. So let us go directly to the agenda. So today we are going to discuss about design data management. First, we will see the research and trends. Next, we will see the brief overview of Altium 365. And then we will be having the live demonstration about your Altium 365. And at the end of the session is the question and answer session. If you have any questions, you can type in the chat panel so that I can get back to you at the end of the session. Okay, so now we'll go for the first topic, design data management, research and trends. Okay, so here we'll see the generalized design data life cycle. Okay, because companies, they prefer to have, based on the research and trend, company prefer to have their own life cycle management. It's not for components, for schematic documents, for PCB documents. They want to have their own life cycle management of their documents. And then when they have the templates, so they want to have the templates with the perfect revisions. Okay, so they save it in the server and they want to have the revision that others, the designers, they will not edit or do changes. Okay, they need to have the original copy. Okay, same thing for the component as well. So the component should be the original revision. They don't want to make any changes. Okay, so like this. And then when they have their component or the documents, they need to validate it. So they need to validate and find whether there is any error, all these. And then they want to share their project to their colleagues or outside the company. And they want to share their project to the manufacturer with respect to the Gerber file, with respect to the assembly file, all the outputs. Okay, so they want to maintain their data. Okay, original data, they want to maintain it in their own server. And based on this research, okay, based on all these topics, so we will be going through this Altium 365, because Altium 365 helps to maintain all this in one place. Okay, that's what we are going to see, the Altium 365 overview. So what is this Altium 365? Is a cloud workspace. Okay, so in the cloud workspace, we can place your design data. You can see some of the projects here. Okay, these projects are placed inside the Altium 365 workspace. Okay, so all the project can be in one place. Then if you want to share the project directly from the workspace, you can share to anybody, anywhere in the world. It doesn't mean that you can share only to a certain person who is inside your organization. It's not like that. It can be shared to anyone, anywhere. Okay, that is the main advantage of this Altium 365 workspace. And then the next one is, once you do save the project in the workspace, then if there is any changes, okay, if there is any changes, you're editing or doing changes, it will be saved as a version control. Okay, version control meaning is, normally before we had this version control within the software. Now we are allowed to do the changes like editing comments or doing some changes directly from the workspace. We can open the project to the software and do the changes. And these changes will be saved as a history, version control history. And this version control history can be seen in Altium 365 workspace. Okay, so you will see who are the person done the changes and when and what the change has been done. Okay, you will see all the details, when the file has been changed, what the changes has been done. All this you can see it directly. So that is the main purpose of this version control history. And next one is, you can also have the inherent data organization. So meaning that if you are looking for a component, okay, you can go for this manufacturer part search, and then in the component, you can compare the component. You can compare the between two components here, and you can choose the component. Also, you can see the different supplier part numbers. Okay, you can see the different supplier part numbers, and you can choose which supply chain is required for your design. All this you can see here, and then you can see the data sheet, you can see the model, symbol, footprint, all the informations where this component is already used. So all this information you can get it, and then you can later save this in your server. Okay, you can compare and save it. You can also filter the component according to your requirement. You see here, example, you have 71,000 component here. Okay, so in this component, if you want to filter based on the category wise, you can filter based on the designer requirement. You can filter it, and then you can compare and then choose. Here, the main advantage of this manufacturer part search, you will see the supply information. Supply information like what is the price, what is the minimum order quantity available, and what is the stock availability of the component. So all these are more helpful for the designer to choose the component for their design. Then you can later, when they use the component as a draft in your design, after 1 month or after a few days, if they want to update it, they can update directly from the manufacturer part search. Okay, the component will be updated. Okay, since each and every day Altium is updating the component, so their component, once it is out of date, they can see it directly in the software, and once they click out of date and just they want to refresh to make it up to date. Okay, this can be done directly from the software. And the next one is once you get the component, you can place it inside your server. So this is your server here, Altium 365 server. And in the Explorer panel as a server, you will see all the components here. So all the components based on the category wise, they will be saved. And you want to choose which category you want to place your component, you can place it off. Okay, based on the category, you can put it there. As well as below models, you can see there is a separate footprint symbols. So meaning that footprints, you can see all the footprints. Symbols, there will be all the symbols here. So from this, you can open the symbols. For example, if you are opening the footprint, and if you want to edit the footprint here, you can edit the footprint. For example, you see the revision of this is, it is 141-1. So this is the first revision here. And in this revision, if you want to edit the component, you can edit it. Edit and then save. Automatically, the revision will change to 2. Okay, and then you will be seeing the changes inside this Explorer panel. So everybody in the company who are all using the workspace will be able to see these changes, and they will see what is the changes have been done and where this component is used. You can see the item ID, the component below. This component are used in these files. Okay, these are the description of the component used here. Okay, so all this information you can get it here. And the next one is, okay, here about the sharing the project. You can share the project or you can snapshot on the web. So first one, sharing the project is you can allow the users to view or you can allow the users to edit the project. Okay, can do either way. They can only view or you can allow them to do the changes as a version control. Okay, you can do that. Otherwise, if you go to the snapshot on the web, you can ask them to see only for certain time period. Okay, share the project and you can see it will be shown in the web browser. They can go to the web browser and they can see the project here. Okay, so snapshot is only for certain time period, but share project is as a permanent, you're sharing the project to them. Okay, this can be done for your colleagues within the organization or to somebody else who is outside the organization as well. Okay, so that if you allow asking them to do the edit or changes, so they can see and can give you the comment or do changes. Okay, all can be done. And next one is ACAD MCAD collaboration. So this ACAD MCAD collaboration is now you can create a project in the Altium, and later if you want your mechanical designer to do some casing for your board, so you can share your project. Okay, directly from the Altium Designer itself by going to the MCAD Code Designer panel. You see, you can push your project, you can push your layout directly, okay, to the mechanical software, and the mechanical designer from the mechanical software side, they can open and they can do the changes. So this is a very interesting. So no more importing and no more exporting of the file. Okay, so there is no missing of any data or anything like that. Okay, then later allow you can work from anywhere, meaning that you can use the Windows PC or Mac PC or desktop PC to work for this Altium 365. There is no any limitations. Okay, so you can use anything to work on this Altium 365. Just you need to sign in with the account, meaning you no need to have license. Just you can have the Altium live account. If you have the account is enough. Okay. Okay, now we'll go for directly demo. I'm going to show some of these topics in the demo. Okay, review of the workspace. What is the availability in the Altium 365 workspace browser, and the design history, then the component creation, and about the life cycle and supply chain. All this I'm going to show you in the demo now. Okay, so now let us go to the software. So here, initially, if you want to work with the Altium 365, first step you will need to see here. On the top right corner, you will need to sign to your Altium 365 workspace. So I have signed into my Altium 365 workspace. Okay, so I can work with the workspace. So now I go to the browser first. When I go to the browser, so here I have this Altium 365 browser, and then here in the left hand side you can see the get started or so many options here. Before that, how I know I'm working with my workspace? On the top right corner you can see that I have signed it with my name. Okay, I have signed in with my name and I have my personal workspace, all this information. Okay, so once I know I am inside my own workspace. So you will see under the projects tab, what are all the projects we have. You can see all the projects. When I click on one of the projects, you will see the project information on the right hand side, to whom we have shared the project, or when we have updated the project to the workspace, and all the information. So you want to see more information, you can see all the details here of that particular project. Okay, so all the informations you will have here, and if you want to open the project, you can open, share, all the things you can do it from here itself. Okay, so second, if you go to the component panel, so when you go to the component panel, you can see what are all the categories of the components we have. All the categories are here. And then you can, the main thing is library health. So the library health, if you see, you will see what are the issues and what are the recently added components. All this information we can have. But if you want to see these details, you can just click on see details. So they will be showing here. So 13 no defined part choices. So 47 uncategorized components. Then 2 duplicates by name. So if you want to see these details, you can click on this. They will open the information. Okay, so this information we can get directly from the web browser. So no need to open the software, no need to look for the component, no need to search. Just sign in with your this account, and then you can see it in Altium 365. All this information. Okay, so then when you go to the ACAD Code Designer panel, here you can see what are all the supported ACAD software like SolidWorks, PTC Cryo, Inventor, all supported. The only thing is you will need to install the Altium Code Designer inside that particular mechanical software. So you no need to worry where I will get the software, all this. You can see here below. Mechanical engineer can download and install inside there this software. One of these software you can download and install it there. So once you do, then you can do the ACAD-MCAD collaboration. Okay. So next one is part request. So part request, if you want to request for a part, you can see there is a part request already done here. So to see the details, you can just click on here for the part and you will see the information. What is the manufacturer and the request ID. If you want to give any comment, you can just give the comment and the required by date. So you can, this is the part I requested previously. Okay, to whom I requested in my company is my colleague, one of my colleagues. So I just given her name, and then I gave one of the component which I requested has also been removed. Okay, so this information is to make a request from the designer to the librarian inside the company. Okay, so that they will know. Then the workspace members. So workspace member is the admin can invite the members of your company just by click on invite workspace members. So in a company, there will be an admin and he can invite the members, okay, to join the Altium 365 workspace. Once he invite, the person will be getting the email invitation, so they can click to activate their account. That's all. Okay, nothing else they need, no need to do. Just once they come there, you have to activate by giving their email address. If we have any roles, you can add the role. Roles like a designer or engineer or librarian, something like that, and then add a note. This information will be done only by the admin to add the user, okay, in the company. So once he give, this is optional, add a note is optional. So by giving this information, just click invite button. So the user in the company will receive email. So by click on the open Altium 365, they will be able to go to the workspace. That's all. Okay, nothing else to do. So I close like this. Then you will see what are the projects shared with me here and what is new in Altium 365. Those things. Under the forum is the community, Altium community, for sharing your question and answer session. Then the documentation, we know Altium documentation for asking questions. Then there is some free trainings and then live chat. Live chat is already we have based on the priority. We can have a live chat with Altium, asking your any doubts or any questions, whatever you have in the software. So all this we have. Now let's go to the software. I have opened one of the project. So let me open one of the document. Now I want to save this in Altium 365 because now this is a local project. Okay, so I want to make it as online. That is Altium 365 workspace. So to do that, just right click on this. You can see make project available online. Okay, so click on this. So project should be saved, save and continue. Yes, I want to save and continue to make it in the online. So let me give the name to be webinar project. For example, I'm giving this name and I'm going to save it in the workspace, and I give this version control because I can later edit and save the changes. Edit, I can ask my colleague to edit and save the changes. So I make it as a version control. Okay, so click OK. So once I done, you will see here the changes. Okay, so now it is saving and transferring all my data. So you will see this information. The project was successfully registered. So you can access securely, share all this information. Now you can see here, there is a green checkbox. So green checkbox meaning that all the data are transferred to the online Altium 365. So I want to open in web browser. So I just click here, open project in web browser. So when I click open browser, it will automatically open the project so I can see the design. Okay, so you can see the design like your schematic, PCB, 3D, bill of material, all these informations you can see it here. Okay, so then if you want to do edit changes, you can do the changes in the web browser itself. Okay, no need to have to do in the software and update, nothing like that. You can directly do here. You see, when I click on the design, you will see the documents here, source documents, all you can see all the documents here. Okay, when I open my PCB, you can see the PCB here. So I want to see in 3D, you can click on 3D and then you can rotate to see a 3D view in your web browser. Okay, so like this, you can see all this. And when you click on one of the schematic document, for example, and I want to see the component, for example, I want to see only one of the component, okay, in the browser. I just click this R4 and you see the component details here, the resistor 84K5. You can see the information about the resistor. So symbol, the footprint and the location and where it is located, bottom layer, all the informations you can see directly from the browser instead of going particularly to the software. Now I want to see see this component in the PCB. So just click on PCB for this R4. Now you will see this R4 in the PCB view. Okay, so you can see the PCB and then you can then in the 3D view. So 3D view, you can rotate and see that resistor here. Okay, because we are seeing only that component. So you can select the component and then you can see which one you want to see here. Okay, so like this, then if you want to see the bill of material, so click on bill of material, you will see that resistor is highlighted. Okay, highlighted R4 resistor. So you can see all the bill of material. So like this, you can edit and see their information. Now, what I'm going to show you, the next feature is in the software, I'm going to do some changes. Okay, I'm going to do some changes and see how this changes takes effect in the web browser. Okay, maybe let me zoom in here. I just type in here some text here. Okay, for example, let me go for the text here, and then I just type the text here, sorry. I go for the text tab. I try to place is a motherboard IC. For example, I'm typing this motherboard IC. I try to place it here. Okay, right click, come out of it. And then let me try to move this here. Okay, I just try to move this. Okay, now I try to move this as well here. Okay, once I do, you see, for this sheet, I have done some changes. So I need to save this. When I save, automatically you will see in the project panel, it is modified. So if it is modified, I need to commit the changes to the server. Okay, that's very, very important. So I need to right click here, and then we have to go for version control, commit the whole project because we are doing some changes. So commit whole project, it will be committing. So meaning I have added the text string. Just I'm giving the information, added the text string. Okay, so commit and push. So when I do this, it should automatically update my browser. And once it is done, we have to check this in the workspace. Before that, I want to show one more thing is we can see the version control history. Okay, history, that is what changes we do, we see in the history. So just right click, we can see here, history and version control, show project history. Okay, click on the project history. It will open the page and show the committed changes. You see, now I have done some changes. You added the text string. Okay, so the added the text string I have done 1 minute ago. Okay, so once I done these changes, now if I want to open this project, I can open this project, whatever I done changes with that. So this project, when I open it, will be a local file. So you can click on these 3 dots and you will see there is an open snapshot. When you click on this, automatically it will open a local file for you. Instead of as a web browser file, that is online file, it will be a local file. For example, if I click on open snapshot, you see, automatically it will download and open as a local project. Okay, you can also do this directly from the software. Okay, so now you will see all the documents same available here, but you will see the date and the time, everything. Okay, so this is one more option we have here. So let me close this. Okay, I don't want to say, I just to show you this. And then I close the history as well. Now I go to the browser to show you these changes. So let me go to the browser and then we will see this changes. Okay, open. Okay, now we will see in the design, the changes has take place. You see, now the changes has been done here. Okay, previously, initially we have loaded the file, and once we update there, we can see the changes in the browser. Okay, so now next thing is, if you want to do the measurement, for example, in the PCB side, you want to measure. Now we have this feature of measure from point to point or object to object, we can measure it. So you can see here point to point. For example, I want to measure from this point to this point. You see here, you can measure it. Okay, this is point to point, but because we usually do only in the software. But now if you want to do within the web browser, people may not have the software. So they want to see it in the web browser, they can measure it. Okay, also if you want to do object to object, they can do the measurement. For example, from this pad to this pad. You see here, object to object, pad to pad measurement. The distance, you can see the information here. Okay, so this is pad to pad measurement, object to object. So all this you can do it inside the workspace itself. Now let us go to the software. Inside the software, I want to show you something in the component panel. So in the component panel, we have, there is a called all. Okay, when you are signing to Altium 365, you will see this all 847 components. So we have so many components here. Okay, in this so many components, if you would like to filter any components, you can filter and see it out. So for example, I want to filter one of the component PIC 16FF, sorry, F1519. Okay, so I just want to see a component like this, but it says there is no component. Okay, I want to try this only from the manufacturer part search. So when I click to manufacturer part search, I need to see, okay, there is a mistake in mine is I put 2F here. Okay, so let me remove one of the F, and then I click enter. So you will see the components. So when I just make it bigger, you can see there is some 14 components are there. PIC 16F 151 and I by PT. You will see the description, the category. Also, you can see what is the supply information of the components. So all this information you can refer. And then the supplier part number information you can refer to the component. So here, if you see, for example, this component, you will see there is a supplier part numbers. Okay, so the digi key, you have this stock availability, all this information. Other suppliers, you can refer here all the suppliers, and you can choose which supplier information you want to see. Under this information, you can click to see the details of this particular component. PIC 15I by MW. You see the information, the data sheet. You can download the component, and then the other details, parameter details of the component. You can see all the parameters, then the model, then the footprint, 2D, 3D view, and then the other footprints, then the data sheets of the component, then the alternative parts. Okay, now you can get the alternative parts as well. So you can choose the alternative parts. Okay, so now for example, if you want to compare, okay, I want to compare the two components. I have I by MV and E by MV. So you can compare it. Select the two component and you will see the comparison. So the differences will be highlighted in this color. So you can see the differences between the part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is I by MV, part 2 is E by MV. So comparison, you will see, for example, the more maximum operating temperature, then the manufacturer part number, all these. Okay, you can see the differences. And then followed by the parameters, you can see the symbol between what is the difference in their symbol and what is the footprint, all this information here. So from this, you can try to choose which component you require for your design. And for example, if I require this I by MW, just right click and you can acquire it. Okay, to save it in your server. When you click on acquire button, it will ask you to save in your server. So we need to choose the server, the folder. As I told you, in the Altium 365, we have so many folders, component folders. You have to choose which folder you want to put that component. So let me choose this processor. For example, I'm choosing processor and click OK. So once I click OK, it will be showing me the updates. What are all the parameters will be updated from the manufacturer part search. You can see the parameter update. These will be updated for the component. I just click followed by this information, just click OK. So when I click OK, you can see on the top, the component is acquired to my server. Okay, so once it is done, you can see the template of the component, the name, the description, the parameters. Still, if you want to edit the parameters, for example, you can see minimum supply voltage is 2.5 volt. I want to change it to 2 volt for my design. You can change it off to 2 volts. Okay, you can change like this. So then you can also see the part choice information, then the more symbol, footprint. And if you want to add your own footprint, you can add it off. Okay, or if you want to edit the footprint, you can edit it off. So once you do these changes, you have to save this first. Okay, so we have to save this first and then release to the server. Okay, so I release to the server. It will automatically release to the server for me. It will ask me to enter the release note. So release note, I have added a new component to processor. Okay, so I just add this. So once it is done, it will show if there is any error, it will show in the message panel. If no error, it won't show anything. Okay, it will be saved, that's all. So now we have done this. I want to see the component which I have acquired from the manufacturer part search. So to verify, you can go to the component panel and then let me search for that component here. PIC 16F1519. Okay, so you see here, this is the component E by MV. This is the component just now I have acquired it. You can see the details below. Okay, so the symbol, the footprint, all this information. You see the minimum supply voltage, I changed to 2 volt. Okay, all this information. Now I want to see this in my Altium 365. Okay, right click, navigate to component. When you click navigate to component, you will see the Explorer panel opens, and then you can see it is a my workspace, goes to my workspace, and then under the integrated circuit processor, I have my component. Okay, so this component is the component. Just now I got it from the manufacturer part search. Okay, so you will see all the details of the component here below, the preview of this component, then the life cycle, then the life cycle is just now I have downloaded, then the part choice, all this information you can get it here for this particular component. This is the very good feature we have inside the Altium 365. And next very important thing is, if you go to this below, you can see the models. As I told you, under the models, we have the footprint model, footprints. So you have all the footprints here. Like that, you have the symbols, simulation model. When you click on symbols, you will see all the symbols. Then the simulation models, you can see the simulation models. So like this, you can see all the models here. Just I'm going for the footprint. So in the footprint, I want to, I can click here for the order, and I want to choose one of the footprint and edit and show you how it works for the revision. So let me go here. I choose for 01, 001. Let me see. 001. Yeah, I am getting the component here. For example, let me choose this component, PCC 001.140_1. Okay, now I will see where this component is used. When I click on where used, you will see this component here, and this is used in this projects, and you can see this is a revision file. Okay, so now I'm going to edit this footprint and see the update changes. Okay, so right click on this and I will edit it. So when I click on edit, before that you see it is revision 1. Okay, here 140-1. So when I click on edit, it will open behind the footprint here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just see here, one of the pad here is rectangle, one is circle. So I'm going to change this rectangular pad to circular pad. So I just edit this. So when I click on this, the pad properties open, and I'm going to change this rectangular shape to round shape. Okay, so once I do changes, and I need to save this first. Once I save, I need to release to the server. Okay, so release to the server. So you will see the release note. So I have, okay, have changed the rectangular pad to the round pad. Okay, so like this you can do the release note. You can just mention here. This will be updated in all these components, because in all these components which is used in different projects. So I click OK. You can see here updates items related to. So tick mark. So I just click OK. So once it is done, you will see it is updated. So there is no error message, meaning it is properly updated. Now let me go to this Explorer panel and see the same component here. Okay, when I go here, you see PCC 001.140 is -2. It's no more -1. So the revision has been changed from 1 to 2. Okay, and followed by below where used, you can see the component here. And it is, you can see the last one, it is 0024-6. Because it is a new revision is 6. Previously it was 5th revision. Now it has come to 6th revision. If you want to see these changes, you can right click on this and you can go for edit. Okay, so go for edit. And when you click on this component to edit, you will see behind. Okay, let me move this again away. Now you see the component in the footprint. Okay, you can zoom to see the changes. So previously it was a rectangular pad. Now it is changed to circular pad. Okay, this is the changes you can do. Still further, if you want to do the changes, you can also do for that particular component and see it off. Okay, this is the main advantage we have. And next feature we are going to see is under the component panel, I'm going to show you the same where used feature you can see from here also. For example, let me search for a capacitors. What are all the capacitors we have? So I just scroll down to see we have so many capacitors here. Let me go for one of the capacitor here and then try to show you here the details. Okay, let me go to the top, just move it. Okay, you can see the details about, oh, you see the availability here, the stock availability of this capacitor, because we are in the Altium 365 all, then so the total stock availability we can see directly from the component panel. You no need to go for Explorer panel, check for the capacitor and see. Directly from the component panel, search button, you can search. You will see the stock availability and the cost, all the informations here. Okay, followed by reference. Reference is the data sheet and where this component is used. So when you click on the where used, now you don't see for this component, where maybe you can go for some other component. Okay, let me go for this component, capacitor 100 nanofarad. Okay, you can see here at the data sheet and the project where used. So in all the 4 projects, this component is used, capacitor 100 nanofarad. So all this information you can now see directly inside the component panel itself. Okay, so this is a very good feature we have here. And next important thing is, I just show you how to share your project from the workspace. So we know we have seen all the design data here. If I want to share this project to somebody who may be inside organization or outside, so let me go and share here. I go here. You see, this is webinar project which I saved 2 minutes before or something like that. So I'm going to share this. So click on share button. Let me give some email, my colleague email or somebody, psgad21@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm sharing this to my colleague PCBSG somebody. So you can set it whether they want to view or edit it. Okay, so I want them to edit as well. So I click on can edit. Okay, so once I click on that, you can just create a link, copy the link and give to them, or you can directly share. When I click on share, automatically the person, you can see the person is not member of this workplace, meaning they are not belong to my own company. It may be somebody outside my company. Okay, so you will say that by sharing where they are access, it is giving you information. Okay, project source document, all this information. So I'm sharing this. Still, I want to share, so I'm just sharing it. So once I share, the person will be receiving the email, and then from there they can open it directly. Okay, so once you shared it, now we can go to the that browser and see whether I can able to edit it or not. Maybe let me see here. Refresh my email to see. You see, webinar project shared with you. Okay, so this is the project share. You can see the name share the project. So once they receive the email, you can just click to open in Altium 365. So click to open in Altium 365. Automatically, the project will be open in Altium 365, so that they can see the project, and if they want to edit or do some changes, they can do the changes. Okay, so you can see the design has been opened here. Okay, now you will see here it is automatically I opened with that, it opened with that same name. Okay, the signed in name, it opened for me. Then when I go to the design, I open the connector, you will see the changes, what we have done and shared. All this will reflect here. And now if I want to do any changes, for example, I want to give the comment. Okay, this shared person is asking you something. Okay, so maybe we can give the comment here. Okay, so message comment and then place a comment. So place a comment, I just create a comment here. Sorry, create a comment here. Let me draw from here. Okay, so please check the value of R2 and R4. Okay, I have 2 resistors there. So just I'm asking to check the value of these 2 resistors. Okay, so I just posted. Okay, so posted. So once the message is posted, you will see the comment. Okay, so please check the value of R2. So this message has been posted. So next one, I will need to go to the software. So in the software, I need to refresh. Maybe I can off and on my workspace. Okay, so because it will need to refresh here. Sign out. Okay, maybe I connect it again. Let me see, it is refreshing for me. Okay, maybe I can open my panels, comment panel as well. Okay, you see here, there is a Please check the value of R2 and R4. Let me open the power sheet. In this sheet, you can see the comment here. Okay, so it's asking me check the value of R2. Now I'm replying, okay, it looks fine. Fine, please go ahead. Okay, so you can, I'm just informing them, so replied. So once it replied, I'm okay with this message, I can resolve it. Okay, resolve it, or I can just leave it. You can see under the comment panel all this information. Okay, so please check out one reply just now. So the reply is, it looks fine, please go ahead. So like this, the communication you can just can be done between the two parties, two people. Okay, 2 or 3 people, so they can share and comment on the project. Okay, so we have seen the all these demo. Okay, so I think I finished my demo. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.